In this video demonstration, we're going to learn how ArcFM Advanced Labeling can work with feature-linked annotation. What we are looking at right now are annotation features, not labels. The support structures are being annotated with the support structure's height, and if that support structure happens to be related to a transformer, we also get the transformer unit's phase designation and its rated kVA. Now, in order to do this with feature-linked annotation, a lot of code has to be working behind the scenes. In fact, there's 7 different auto updaters required to make this relatively simple expression work. When we create a new support structure, we have to update the label text field on the support structure so that the annotation can be synchronized with the actual feature that it's labeling. Also, if we update the support structure's height, we have to again modify the label text of the support structure. Same with the transformer unit's phase designation or its rated kVA. But there's also the relationship created event and the relationship delete event for the 2 different relationship classes that we are working with. So needless to say, this is an awful lot of code running behind the scenes in order to keep our annotations synchronized. ArcFM Advanced Labeling is going to help us to reduce the complexity substantially and also to have a much more normalized database. When we use ArcFM Advanced Labeling, we can get rid of all of that code and work with a simple ArcFM Advanced Labeling expression. We're labeling support structure based on its height, getting the transformers if they exist, drilling down to transformer unit and labeling based on phase designation and rated kVA. Now, suppose you have a lot of annotation already and you want to maintain the exact XY coordinate position of those annotation features, but you still want to leverage the power of ArcFM Advanced Labeling. You can work with these 2 things together. What you can do is go to the top level of our label expression tree, choose annotation from the drop-down, and then specify that if the label coming from the ArcFM Advanced Labeling expression matches the annotation that we do not want to label it. In other words, we'll use the exact coordinate position from the annotation. It'll be the annotation that actually shows up on the screen. When you do that, you have to specify what the name of the relationship class is in the geodatabase that ties support structure and the annotation together. If the 2 things don't agree, if the label doesn't agree with the annotation, we can draw the labels in red. So let's see what this looks like from the end user's perspective then. I'm going to select a transformer right here. We see the annotation. I'm going to drill all the way down to the transformer unit, and I'm going to change the rated kVA of that transformer from 25 kVA to 50 kVA. And then I'll go ahead and click on the Update button. When I do that, a label appears showing the new rated kVA of 50, and it also shows up in red. Now the annotation at this point is incorrect because it doesn't have any code behind it running, so I'm going to go ahead and select that and delete it. After I refresh my screen, that label is going to automatically turn black for me. Now because this particular layer is using ESRI representation, I can move that label as if it were annotation. So I can go ahead and select it like this using the ESRI representation toolbar and click and drag it into any position that I want. And there we have it. So what we have seen in this video demonstration is something of a hybrid between labels and annotation. This particular feature over here is being labeled while everything else is being annotated. So AAL can step in and get the text on map that we need when it becomes necessary, when the annotation is out of sync. The benefit of this is that we can get rid of all of that supporting code that was necessary to synchronize the annotation with the actual feature. Using the ESRI representation toolbar, you've seen how I can move labels around as if they are annotation. In fact, rather than using the hybrid approach just shown, it's possible to migrate the XY coordinates of the annotation into the actual feature class itself. That would allow you then to actually completely delete your annotation feature class.